aspect to this. Actually, they were cursed twice. One time when Samba got the rage or the curse of the sages, but there was another time after the Battle of Kurukshetra when Gandhari came out on the battlefield to find her 100 sons. So after she found them all, she was greatly aggrieved. So Krishna was with her. So she turned to Krishna and she said, "You're the cause of all this. You could have stopped it, but you didn't. And therefore I curse you that 34 years from today."
The example that Krishna wanted to demonstrate through this curse. Prabhupada explains in the Bhagavad purport that Krishna wanted to demonstrate the power of the chastity of a woman. See, Krishna arranges everything to teach examples to us. He arranged through Samba and Narada the grievous effects that will come upon anybody who offends a Vaishnava. And through this he wanted to show that if a woman is chaste, then she develops such powers that she could even destroy through those powers the dynasty of God himself. Prabhupada explains that just as a man through celibacy, brahmacharya, develops great Shakti power, in the same way a woman, by her chastity, develops tremendous power of God behind her. And to offend a chaste woman means to bring wrath upon your life.
She burnt the fingertips of Yudhisthira.
And he was scared to death of her.
Bhima hid behind Krishna, actually.
Bhima didn't mind facing any of the most heroic warriors in the battlefield and he was beating elephants with his fists. He was destroying the biggest, most hungry, man-eating rakshasas like Hidimba and Bakasura. He had no fear of them. Just, "Mataji, I'm going to kill that Bakasura." Hidimba, no fear. He had no fear of anything, Bhima. But he knew that Gandhari was a chaste woman. And he knew that the power of a chaste woman is greater than any Rakshasa or any Kshatriya or any warrior. And therefore he was so afraid of Gandhari. It was the first time in history of Bhima's life that we see him hiding behind someone, hoping he's not seen. Generally he was very aggressive. And Yudhisthira Maharaj also was an utterly fearless person. He had no fear of going before Bhishma Dev and Dronacharya in battle. No fear at all, not even hesitation. And Arjuna, such a mighty, fearless warrior he was. But when they saw that Gandhari was angry with them, they were all trembling and shivering with fear. It is described at the kingdom of, Virat, when Yudhisthira, king, was about to get angry with him, threw dice at him, and he was bleeding. Yudhisthira had to hide his face because he knew that Arjuna, Bhima, the Pandavas, if any of them knew that anybody touched him even once, they would destroy that person. And here Gandhari, she burnt his fingers. And the Pandavas, they didn't think, "Oh, we will destroy her." They were hiding. She may do that to me too. They're so fearful of the chastity of a woman. So this is also a vital understanding for anyone who hopes to make spiritual advancement. If we offend the chastity of a woman, of a chaste woman, then terrible wrath of God will be upon us. And a woman who has that chastity, even though she may be very mild and very, very humble, she develops tremendous amount of Shakti. It is said that because of her chastity, what was the exhibition of her chastity was a woman who is chaste should never think she's better than her husband in any way, shape, or form. This is what chastity means. If a woman thinks she's better than her husband, she's unchaste. So she was thinking, because I can see and he cannot see, I will think I'm better than him because I have something he doesn't have, and that will make me unchaste. Therefore, to keep that feeling of complete chastity and subservience to her husband, she blindfolded herself and vowed that she would not see the light of day. But because she was performing that tapasya, she gained such great power that anything that she looked upon would become invincible, undefeatable. So she understood. After she looks once, then so much of that power is gone. She couldn't do it again. But it was all stored up. When we restrain our senses, those senses get great power. So she saw, I haven't seen anything. Whatever I see will become invincible. When I first see it, Duryodhana came before her, and she knew that this war was going to take place. So she picked up her blindfold, and when she saw him, Prabhupada says, Every part that she saw in his body became as hard as steel, became like iron. It was undefeatable, undentable, invincible. But Krishna said, this is misbehavior coming before your mother. You should at least cover your private parts. So that part, the base of his back, his thighs, were ordinary. And Prabhupada, when he tells the story, he says that she said, oh, Krishna has told you to do this. Krishna has tricked us. She realized that ultimately we cannot go against the will of God. What Krishna wants will be done. Krishna has done this. He has foiled all my plans. Mare Krishna Rake Krishna Mare Ke. Krishna wants to destroy you. No arrangement in all creation can save you. And if Krishna wants to protect you, there's no power on earth that can harm you.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.